Dr. Umar Johnson, let's talk about him today. Is he a scammer or just a social media influencer where things are not just going his way right now? So, if you're new to the channel, my name is Jason. I've been an expat slash nomad for 10 years. I am now in my fourth country, third continent, here in the southern region of Africa, Lusaka, Zambia. And along this 10-year journey, as I've been growing and learning, I've also started to share what I've learned along this process from a lens of three perspectives: happiness, health, and wealth. And also, like, I've started sharing what actually is here on the ground in Zambia, because unfortunately, this is one of those countries where not a lot of people are looking into, and the few people that do come here, they're not really telling you everything that's really going on. And so, just to help give you more options if you're thinking about becoming an expat or already one, I've just been sharing some of my experiences that I've figured out here on my own. And so now let's get into today's video. Just for personal reasons, I'm not going to keep referring to him as Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm going to just call him Umar Johnson. I feel like in certain spaces, especially online, the term doctor is being very abused. And I don't know, because I don't follow most people. I don't know if everyone's credentials really check out, if you know what I mean. And so I'm just going to call him Umar Johnson. Just still being respectful. I just don't like how doctor is just being thrown around. I remember seeing Cece as she was doing her doctoral degree online from home while we were in Panama, and it was a lot of work. I have a lot of respect for people who get their doctoral degrees, but unfortunately, there are a lot of these questionable universities out here online, man. But let's go ahead and get into it. Like, seriously. So if you're not familiar with who Umar Johnson is, he's in the Black Thought Conscious movement. I don't know if he's a leader or not, but he's in that movement. I know he's been talking about building a school for a while. I don't know if he's done it or if it's been done. And also, I think one of his mission statements is to help empower and uplift young Black males to get them out of the prison industrial complex rotation and a lot of the other psychological strategic issues that were placed on some inner city Black children based on how their societies were laid out by the Jim Crow era at the time. So that's something that I believe in. Like, I do believe in anyone who's going to try to help kids, help the next generation. So whether you like him or not, there are some good things that he have intentions of doing. I can't speak for his accolades or work. I don't know the man personally, and I've never been involved in any of his products personally. So this is from a very third person perspective, and I'm just looking at things from a neutral lens. Now, if you know me or familiar with me, one of the things that I do recommend is that everyone in this world should have social media channels. The only thing that I say is it shouldn't be used socially. You should be using it with the intention of always building a business or a brand for yourself. At the end of the day, social media is a business in a box. It's the new age of network marketing, because now you're no longer attached to just one product or one opportunity. You can actually market as many different facets of your life and brand yourself in so many different ways. All of these different things that you can able to do. Even right now, I am using some marketing strategies in this video. And if you've caught on to it, let me know in the comments. Because I want to just show you, like, this is how advanced and evolved business is in this new age. And we're in a new industrial age. We're in the World Wide Web age. We're way more advanced than what we ever was. And opportunities exist all over the world now. And it's just about us increasing our awareness with that opportunity, and also being willing to make a sacrifice and commitment into doing the work that is needed to be done outside of your regular 9 to 5. And this is why I love social media as far as posting and sharing things, because I wish these opportunities existed when I was a kid, man. I would have probably never worked. I would have been hustling on social media. I would have probably been like a Casanat, I Show Speed. Like, I love being able to make money and having my own freedom. So learning financial freedom and now experiencing financial freedom and understanding the opportunities that's out here, I would have went all in as a kid if I would have really understood what social media was. But like there is something you do need to understand is like you must build a brand. Like be cautious of what you do. And it's funny because I was before I even decided to do this video explaining talking about Umar Johnson, I was actually doing a video talking about doing my outline, explaining the importance of social media for business. Because everyone needs to be doing this now. It doesn't matter what type of job you have, what type of business you're building. No one's going to find you if you're not on social media. And just to give you an example, this week was my birthday. Well, this last week was my birthday, and I went to clay pottery. So where you're, doing the ghost thing with the clay pottery, the clay wheel and all that. It was really fun, really cool. However, the surprise was ruined because we had to go find the place because they had no social media content up, except the one video showing, hey, this is where you can do this activity. And they had no contact numbers, no contact email. No one's managing their social media. They just threw up, I think like 3 pictures that didn't show nothing of what they could do. And it kind of ruined the surprise, but like I was still happy for it. But it was like, imagine how that would have felt if you walked in for the first time, and imagine how the person who planned it would have felt knowing that, oh man, I'm going to be able to book this for them and they can go do this. Like it matters. It makes a difference. Social media is where people go find out information now. If you need to figure out how to do something, most likely you're going to YouTube and putting in how to. You're getting financial advice from people who are in the economic areas, people who do trust and bonds, people who do trading. You're seeing so much information now coming through social media because it is the simplest way to get material to the masses, and you don't have to worry about spending a lot of money on it. And so, without going into much technical background, which I'm gonna do an entirely different video on that, is if you haven't started a social media channel, start it. Just start it and just talk about different parts of your life. Just really follow these 2 things. No profanity, and make it where it's family friendly oriented material. You can talk about adult themed things in a family friendly setting. So those are the only 2 things you got to really worry about. No vulgarity, because nobody wants to be around vulgar people anymore. And 2, family friendly oriented stuff. It doesn't mean PG-13 and things of that nature. Even what I talk about, it is still considered family friendly oriented stuff. Like nothing I'm speaking of is going to make someone be like, oh, my kids don't need to hear this, or, oh, you're going to be doing a negative influence on my child or something like that. And that's just where the world is now. Okay, it's getting a little hot. Okay, man, it was freezing this morning, so I had to put on a beanie. And so Umar Johnson, as I said, like his mission statement is to help kids and things of that nature. And he's been doing this for a long time. I think he's been on social media maybe over 15 years, which is a long time. He was very much ahead of the curve. And he does donations for his projects, things of that nature, but there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's actually going to the right causes and there's no embezzling the money or misuse of the money, which is something you see a lot of with some of these social media people. It's very easy to start getting a following, and then you want to become a humanitarian. But a humanitarian is more about, it's just being able to collect money doesn't make you a humanitarian. One thing, I believe it was Grant Cardone, he said it at it was an online event that I attended, and he was one of the keynote speakers, and it really challenged my belief system. And he said how, I'm trying to get these glasses, there we go. He said how, it's easy for when a person doesn't have much money to complain and judge someone about the minimum amount that they're doing. And it's easy to be like, oh, well, why don't they give more? But he was like, you're not even willing to give at the level you're at now. So even if you reach this higher level, what makes you think you're going to be able to, or you're going to want to give more now? And that really challenged one of my belief systems. Cause I always was like, once I get to this level, I'll be able to do this. Once I get to that level, I'll be able to do that. And the truth was, I wasn't doing anything at the level that I was at. And so that's when I started donating to Manna Relief, which was a plant-based charity that was providing nutritional plant-based meals to kids in different areas, even kids in America too, in food desert places. And I did that for about a good 2 years, actually, just donating. And then I was very blessed to donate $12,000 to the John Hope Bryant Foundation, which was to help entrepreneurship and getting entrepreneurship within Black communities and teaching them the proper ways to do entrepreneurship. So that was really good to do that. And even now, as you may know, I'm doing where I'm purchasing reusable sanitary pads for young girls and young women, and these last up to 18 months, year and a half. And these will be getting donated to villages. I have about 200 I'm donating to the villages in Botswana. I'll be taking those out to Maun later this year. And then I'm working on being able to donate them to orphanages, women's prisons, schools, or even villages out here also in Zambia. And I'm thankful to Grant Cardone. If it wasn't for him to give me that light bulb moment, I don't think I ever would have truly understood what it meant to be a humanitarian and work at the levels that I can work at. And so a lot of people think like just collecting money makes them humanitarian, but it really don't. It makes you more prone to potentially stealing or misusing the money, because things are going to always come up. And this is why also, like I always tell people, do majority of your humanitarian aid from your own pocket. A lot of things need to be funded through yourself. Because people are going to watch you, man. When you start taking money from people, people start watching you a lot different, and rightfully so. And I think this is one of the things that's catching up with Umar Johnson is people have been watching him. And now I think he's saying, I think originally he went viral because a couple of months ago, because he was having issues with one of his daughters. And now it's a woman that he, I guess, was dating. It's, let me just say this part, then I'm gonna just give a opinionated viewpoint. A woman that she was helping him with his mom. They may have been dating, and I'll explain why I think they may have been dating, or they had some type of physical closeness based on some of the things he said out of his mouth. But now he's accusing that she may have went into his accounts doing something negligent or something to where now the accounts are frozen. And so, okay, before that, let me just explain frozen accounts. I've had an account frozen before, and I've had accounts blocked, even here while I'm in Zambia. Once you leave your home country, like your banking system, it becomes life or death 99% of the time. So you have to be very cautious where you swipe your card, where you can, where you can't, what machines work. You don't want any issues with your card being blocked or canceled, and then you have to get a new card in. It's expensive. It's going to cost you about 100 to 200 US dollars, depending on where you are in the world and how much DHL or UPS is going to charge to ship it, and if they will ship it. Some places will not ship debit cards. And so because of that, when he was talking about his accounts being frozen, the way he talked about it don't make sense to me. He says because there's potential fraudulent activity, it has nothing to do with him, but it is on his account. They froze the accounts. Now, I've had this plenty of times happen to me. Maybe it's special because I use military banking, but when there's potential fraudulent activities, they will close. They'll put a block on my account and on my card, and then they'll send me a text message or email. Hey, you need to contact your bank. There's potential fraudulent activities. It's happened to me at checkouts. It's been embarrassing, but it just is what it is. You have to understand when you're living abroad, your security is more important. So there's certain things that's just gonna happen. Bite the bullet. If it happens, it happens. Yes, it's annoying, but you just got to deal with it. And so when that happens, usually I just have to call them. I confirm if it's my purchases or not. If it is, they be like, okay, thank you. They'll unblock the card and then it's back working. Sometimes it may take a couple of minutes, or I have to call 2 or 3 more times just to have them reset it. Because sometimes just, you know how electronics are. But how he's saying that things are just frozen, he can't get to his money, it doesn't make sense. So now I've had an account frozen before too. So when CC passed, her account was frozen. We had money jointly in that account. And rightfully so, whatever the laws are, make sure people ain't misusing the dead's money. I get it. But you know, the things you're not taught when you're in America.